to make Sunday dinner, and this is a component to my Sunday dinner, and I'm going to make some sweet and sour cabbage, because later on I'm going to be making some pork schnitzel and some spätzle, maybe. I haven't made it in a very long time. I remember my grandmother making it, and my grandmother's full-blooded German, so this is really a German dinner, and I don't know, I saw something this morning on the TV that kind of triggered it into my brain. I thought, I want to make that for dinner. So let me show you what goes into this sweet and sour cabbage. And this is also very much inspired by the sweet and sour cabbage at my most favorite place on the face of the earth, which is Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia. Have something on the camera there, babe? Oh, sorry. And they make something like this that they serve in Germany. And for those of you who may not be familiar with Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia, it's called Busch Gardens Europe. And there's Germany and Italy and France and England and Scotland and Ireland. And it's fantastic. And it's an amusement park, of course, but it's really a very high-end amusement park. I really love it there. It's been voted the most beautiful amusement park in America.
Like 10 years running.
10 years running. Yes, so anyway, I digress. I'm going to show you what goes into this. Of course, this is one small head of red cabbage that I have quartered, cored, and shredded. This is 3 medium onions that I have quartered and sliced. This is 2 Pink Lady apples, any crisp apple, a Pink Lady, a Fuji, a Brayburn,
Pink Crisp.
Pink Crips, anything like that, a Jazz apple, and we're coming into fall, and this is such a fall meal, and the apples are starting to come, and I'm so excited about that. So, Honey Crisp would be perfect as well. And I have not peeled these because I hate losing the nutritive value of the apple peel. They have been washed very well, and I have just cubed them. I've got a half a cup of black raisins and a half a cup of golden raisins. And we're going to use some apple cider vinegar, some apple cider, some pasteurized apple cider, black pepper, salt, and celery seed. You can also choose to use some caraway seed in here. I don't like, it's okay. I may throw a little in there, but I don't like the edge it gives it. So over here I have about 3 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of neutral oil. There's safflower oil in there. I had to take it off of the burner because it started to get too hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a wooden spoon. And wait for this just a minute. It was pretty hot anyway, so.
If they put one in there and see how it sizzles.
Yeah, I know.
It's not ready.
It's not ready yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brown off these onions. Oh, it's starting. It needs to come up to temp here. Turn it up a little, get it going there. It's getting there.
It's starting to.
There it goes. It's okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start it in the pan, and then I'm going to transfer it. You can transfer it to a crock pot and cook it for the rest of the afternoon on low. That way when it's time to eat, this will be perfect. Because, you know, red sweet and sour cabbage is kind of wilty and soft, and it's just delicious and flavorful. And it's the perfect side dish to this meal. Another good side, if you weren't going to make spätzle, would be some German potato salad, or just some mashed potatoes would be great too. But I think I'm gonna try and do the spätzle, and then I'll show you if I do that, of course. And I'm gonna show you also the schnitzel. And for those of you who don't know what schnitzel is nothing more than meat cutlet. It can be chicken, pork, or veal. Traditionally, if you're talking about schnitzel in general, schnitzel is really a way of preparing meat, but traditional German schnitzel is made with veal cutlet. Veal cutlet's a little out of my price range, so we're going to have pork schnitzel today, and we're just going to cut up a pork tenderloin, and we're going to pound it. Pound some medallions and make paillards. It's a French cooking term. And then we're going to go ahead and this onion is starting to soften a little. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my cabbage. And my apples. I'm going to toss the apple in here. Give that a stir. And the other thing about this red cabbage is it is going to cook down a lot, but you're going to have leftovers. And you can just stick these in a mason jar in your fridge. There's going to be some apple cider vinegar in here, so it's going to act as a little bit of a preservative. I would someday, I'd love to make a giant pot of this stuff and can it. I think it would be great. And I believe that I could can it in the water bath canner, but I would have to do a little research on that.
Well, if you try it, do your own research.
That's true. I think if you water bath canned it for a long enough time, you would be safe. I'm going to get this well mixed. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on this and I'm going to let this steam for about 10 minutes. On medium-high heat. I'm going to stir it occasionally every few minutes, and then when we're ready to move on to the next step, I'm going to come back and show you what that is. So we'll be back in a minute. Hey, it's been a little more than 10 minutes, and this cabbage has wilted nicely. Onions are cooking down as well as the apples.
It already smells incredible.
It does smell really good. Now we're going to add our salt, and this is sea salt. It's in a grinder. Add some black pepper. And I'm going to do the spoon side because about a teaspoon of each. And my favorite, celery seed. I don't put celery in with the vegetables, but I do like the celery seed. I just love celery seed. Anybody who's been watching me for any amount of time knows it's one of my favorites.
That's why we're perfect.
You love celery. Okay, we're going to add our raisins in there. Give it a good stir.
That's the key to a successful marriage. Celery.
Celery. Who knew? Okay. Now, let me come over here. There's a raisin who didn't want to go in. And I'm going to add, I would say there's a half a cup of apple cider vinegar in this bottle. And I'm just going to dump it right in there. Get rid of that. And then we have some apple cider. It's starting to show up in the store. Whoops. About a cup, I'd say. Sorry, honey. Did I get you?
Minus a tablespoon on my foot.
It's all right, honey. We'll clean it off later.
I said your foot.
Oh, your foot. I'm gonna smack you. What? It smells good. It smells good, doesn't it? Molly's behind me watching. Okay, I'm gonna bring this back up to temp to a simmer. And then I'm going to transfer it over here to my my pressure cooker. And I'm going to set it.
That doubles as a slow cooker?
It doubles as a slow cooker. And I'm just going to put it on as long as it'll go. I think it goes up to 2 hours. So I'm just going to put it on the veggie setting for 2 hours. And I'm going to let it cook until it's time to eat. I did make a decision while we were on our break. I'm not going to make spätzle. I'm going to save that for another time because it's getting late in the afternoon. Creaky. And I don't want to overextend myself with dinner. I'm going to make the schnitzel and the cabbage, and I'm going to boil up some egg noodles, and it's all going to be good. So,
but make sure y'all hold her to that, though.
I'm going to make the spätzle, I promise. Okay. This is starting to steam up like it's getting hot, so I just want it to be good and hot before I transfer it to the slow cooker. And it's my, like I said, it's my pressure cooker. But if you don't put the pressure lid on it and you just put the glass lid on it and you give it a time, it'll just stay on there until you turn it off. And what we're going to do later to thicken it up, because you know red cabbage oftentimes will be a little thicker, so I'm going to use some clear gel. And if any of you are familiar with I'm Still Working, she uses clear gel a lot for canning things like syrups and fillings, pie filling, topping syrup, like for pineapple or strawberry syrup, that kind of thing. She uses clear gel in that. But I'm going to use this, what I call Ultra Gel. It is a clear gel product. It's just can be used either hot or cold. And I'm going to put a little in here. It serves the same purpose to thicken up as it would if you used cornstarch. Because Ultra Gel or Clear Gel is nothing more than a modified food starch. Like if you see it on the ingredients listing on a pre-made product, modified food starch is a corn product. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and transfer this. I'm going to turn it off. Let's see. Well, I did pretty good. I thought I would drop a lot more than that.
So did Sissy.
Yeah, she probably did. Sissy won't eat cabbage, I know that. Alright.
Sophie likes cabbage.
Sophie likes vegetables and fruits. It doesn't matter what it is. Except pickles. She spits those out. Alright, I'm just going to put this over here. I'm going to put the lid on it. I'm going to let it cook. And I'm going to stir it every now and then. And then when it's time to eat supper, we're going to fix you a plate. And it's going to have that delicious sweet and sour cabbage on it. So, don't go anywhere. We'll finish this one up. Then we're going to start the schnitzel up. And then we're going to fix you a plate. Because I know you're hungry. And it's Sunday. See you in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're back. And our cabbage has been cooking on the lowest setting of my pressure cooker. And we didn't pressure cook it. We just used it as a crock pot. But it's been there on the lowest setting for about 3 hours, actually. 2.5, 3 hours. And I said I was going to put some thickener in here, but really, it doesn't need it. I'm going to leave that juice in the bottom, and it tastes amazing.
Oh, it is amazing.
And like I said, for any of you who've ever been to Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, which is my very favorite, ultimate happy place on earth, when I die, I want my ashes sprinkled over Busch Gardens. In the Rhine River, and they have this at the Festhaus in Germany. They serve a red cabbage very similar to this, and I nailed it. I'm telling you, it's excellent.
Maybe better.
Rick says maybe better. Thank you, honey. Okay, so I'm going to dish you up a little bit of this, because in my other video, I am going to serve this alongside the schnitzel that we just made. And I'm telling you, this is out of this world. For those of you, this is one of those dishes, you either love it or you hate it. And I love sweet and sour cabbage ever since I was a kid. Mm-hmm. So, get you a fork. There you have it. Sweet and sour cabbage, inspired by Busch Gardens Williamsburg and the Festhaus. I hope you try this, and I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, I'll see ya. Auf Wiedersehen!